Morning guys, warm welcome to Alan's Allotment. It's the 6th of December 2020 and it's Sunday. Hope everybody's staying safe, being practical and keeping themselves out of harm's way. As you can see, it's Baltic again, but I don't mind the cold. It's the rain that I don't like, guys. Right, so it's now 11:30 in the morning, but what you haven't seen is I arrived at the allotment at 9 o'clock on the dot this morning, and Andrew was waiting in the van at the allotment for me. I didn't even know he was coming. So that was a real massive bonus, and I said, "What are you doing here?" He says, "I've come to give you a hand. I've been watching your videos, seeing you fighting on, I've come to give you a hand." So very gratefully accepted. Andrews came up. Tony has also landed. He came a little later, about 10 o'clock, just after, and brought me my breakfast, a nice bacon and sausage sandwich. And what I can tell you is, since 9 o'clock, already, Tony has completely cleaned out one loft, grills out, pressure washed, everything back, and he only came here about 10 o'clock. And he's now on another loft doing exactly the same with that, getting all the grills out, pressure washer and all of those, deep clean, ready for the Christmas period. Myself and Andrew set to over in the garden after I'd fed and watered all the pigeons and the chickens, and Andrew has weeded he's done 4 beds already, guys. He's weeded 4 beds, he's put the cow manure in, and we're ready to almost start dressing down with the compost on the top. Well, we've put cardboard in as well, by the way. You won't have seen this because by the time I get over there it'll be done. I'm just over here making us all a cup of coffee now. So Andrew's absolutely brain on with that. He's dug over 4 beds. Oh, sorry, not dug over. He's weeded 4 beds, like breaking them up, loosening it gently. We've got rid of and disposed of all of the weeds. We've laid cardboard down on the beds. And he's also started, when I came over, he got 2 of the beds manured as well, guys. I've just been down to the garden centre again. The compost is so good, I'm so impressed with it. I went and got another bulk load because it'll do for potting and all sorts in the season. It really is good quality, and in case we get a severe lockdown again right after Christmas, I want to make sure I've got it. So I've got it. So I've got another ton in the car. I won't need all of that to finish the beds off, but the rest will just stay in the greenhouse, and I've got it should I need it. And it will never go to waste, because if we don't use it all in the growing season, it'll go and dress the beds down again next winter, guys. So a massive surprise in Andrew turning up. Really pleased about that. As I said, Tony's landed up now. I have played a part in doing a bit in the garden, not much, but I have played a part in that. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't actually had to do a great deal today, and it was a lovely surprise. I didn't know Andrew was even coming. He just came up off his own bat and said, "I'm here to give you a hand. Tell me what you want me to do and let's get cracking. I know you've got a lot to do." So I'm absolutely delighted, as you can imagine. So what we're going to do is go have this cup of coffee, make this coffee with the lads, and we'll have this, and then we'll take you a walk over in the garden and the pigeon lofts as well with what Tony's doing, and introduce you to Tony, my son, and Andrew, my son-in-law, if you haven't already seen him on an earlier video. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned. Right guys, we're now on 2 PM in the afternoon, and as you can see, we've got very little cow manure left, and what little bit we do have left is been all wrapped up and left to sweat down there. we're hoping to get another couple of buckets full. We're going to build a bit of a fence here, and another couple of buckets full, 3 or 4 buckets full dumped in here next year, and that can just rot down over the years, and that'll keep me going for the next 4 or 5 years just for top dressings, guys. So Andrew has had an absolute marvellous day today. The amount of work he's got done, I have helped a little bit, not much, but Andrew's done most of this work. But I just want to show you what we're actually doing now, guys. So you can see that all the beds have now been weeded, cow manure, cardboarded, cow manured. We did go with the cardboard in the end. The 2 middle beds that Andrew's walking up and down now, they're the 2 beds that didn't get any cardboard, so we'll see what happens. I decided last night when I went home that I really thought, you know what, I'm going to put the cardboard down as a precaution. I really don't want to have to do all of this again. It may be that the 2 middle beds will be fine, and that bottom bed, which is the experimental bed. Worst case scenario, we've got 3 beds to do again, guys, but everything else being cardboarded again. And I think year on year, putting the cardboard down is the way to go, because if you do get any perennial weeds coming up, you'll consistently weaken them, and they should just pull out very easy. So we've got the cardboard down, we've got the cow manure on, and we've now got this excellent quality compost that I bought, which I said is about £10 a bag, guys. It's expensive, but it's really, really good. And as you can see, what we're doing now is we're just firming everything down. And like I said, you can't compress compost. It just springs back. All we're doing is getting it down to a level, and you can see every one of these beds now is almost up to the top of the board. We've deliberately left about 1 inch below so we can get some plastic in there, cardboard, whatever we want, but whatever we're going to cover it over with. And then we're going to just let these sweat out and winter down. But as you can see, guys, it's looking $1 million. We've got every single bed done, or should I say Andrew's now got all the other beds done that wasn't done. Is just firming out the beds, the bottom beds that we've I decided we would dress it all now, get it out of the way. And not only that, put the top coating on over the manure will actually help the manure, any manure that hasn't broken down fully. And then the plastic on top now, after we've got all this firmed in, it really, really will be broken down by the time we come round to February, March for the potatoes, guys. And more importantly, it will protect the worms. We're going to put the covers over it, stop any weed seeds, and we should be ready to go already in the growing season, guys. So I just want to say a massive thank you to Andrew and Tony today for all their hard work. As I said, 2 PM I couldn't have got this done. You know what it's been like the last couple of weekends, but many hands make light work, as they say, and the amount of work we've got done today is unreal. That's why the video is a bit limited, purely and simply because we've just been cracking on and getting things sorted, guys. Tony's also made an absolute sterling job over in the pigeon lofts. We'll give you a quick look in there later. He's got them mucked out for me. He's on the last one now, just getting the floors pressure washed in there and one thing and another. But what you can see we're doing is basically we're using this flat board, and to get a nice even firming of the bed, it's simply, I was actually using my foot at one point, and then I found this board in the garage, and I thought, if you use a wide area as well, you get equal pressure. And it's just ideal for this job, guys. And as you can see, it's a couple of minutes, it firms everything out, it makes the beds look absolutely $1 million. It's something picturesque, guys. It looks like we've painted these into situ, but what a fantastic job. We've even got this back bed done here. Now when I went to get some more compost, Andrew put all the cardboard in there, and this was quite well down. He got it weeded first, then we got the cardboard in, and then what he's done is he put about 5 or 6 barrelfuls of cow manure and spread that, and then we put 4 90-litre bags of the compost on top of there as well, guys. So that bed there now is a foot deep. So these beds shouldn't need any feeding for a little while. We've also decided to sacrifice the 4 cauliflowers we had in here, and as you can see, Andrew's got all this done as well. We've got the cardboard in there, we got it weeded, he got all the cauliflowers out, all the rest of it. We got the cardboard down yet again, and we've got the cow manure in there, and then we've got the compost on there again. Likewise, we've even got these beds, so what a massive amount of progress we've had today, guys. These beds now have got their top dressing of compost, of good quality compost. They've had the cow manure, as you know, as seen in earlier videos. They've now got their top dressing of compost as well. These are ready to be planted out with onions if I want to. And we decided we'd put another 4 bags of manure, cow manure, into here, which wasn't quite broken down properly. But this is a really deep bed, as you can see. It's over a foot deep, this one, guys. So to bulk it out a bit and save on cost, we put another 4 wheelbarrowfuls of cow manure in here. And this has now also been dressed off with the good quality compost. And there's 3 bags of good quality compost on top of here as well. So yeah, we should be good for a year or two now, guys. We really are getting it right now. And I think you'll agree, it's all looking $1 million. Right, I'm babbling on. I'm going to give Andrew a bit of a hand, and I'll catch you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Right, guys, we're just over here now having a cup of coffee. A well-earned cup of coffee, so we've just, and the lads are just having a little bit of a break. What a fantastic day we've got done today. So on the right, we've got Tony, for those who haven't met him. This is Tony, my son. And on the left, we have Andrew, who's my son-in-law. And they've both dedicated the time to come up here and give me a hand out today, guys, to get me all sorted for Christmas. And we've got way more done than I thought we were going to get done. I said earlier it was 2 o'clock over in the garden. It wasn't, it was only 1. I couldn't see for the sun. It's actually only 1:45 in the afternoon now, guys. And Tony's been over here while we've been in the garden. And he's got the pigeon loft cleaned out, so let's try and give you a little bit of different content today as well, guys. Just for anybody who's watching for the first time, we'll have a look at see the pigeons. So this is one of the lofts he's got all cleaned out for me, and as you can see, we've had the floors out. They've all been pressure washed and everything, and the birds are a little bit spooked at the moment, but as you can see, these are all the hens, these are all the females. I got a white check frill stencil, Trigonino there, just about to fly, just gone out. Then we've got a reduced Trigonino hen there as well. Then we have a couple of fantails there we're going to be using as feeders for the frill stencils next year. And I was saying about toy and frill stencil, here we have another one that looks like a black bronze checker, but she's actually carrying the toy stencil, toy stencil, guys, sorry. And if she was paired to another one similar, they would produce white checks or white barred. She's only an F1, and as you can see, she's got the bronzing just at the bottom end of her wing. And then we've got the little reduced Trigonino here. The light's pretty bad in here, so the video might be a little bit hazy. So he's got all this cleaned out. This has been all lifted up, all the floors, everything's been lifted up. We've got fresh shavings, we've got the grills have been pressure washed, all the perches cleaned down, everything. We're good for a couple of months in there now, guys. So that's all going to be done ready for Christmas. That's all done ready for Christmas. A couple of weeks ago, I done the 24-foot loft right through, as you know. Tony's also been in here and cleaned this out with the 7 pigeons. We've got all the floor up in there, all that pressure washed out as well. And he's been in this one here as well, where the cockbirds are. And he's basically got this one done and all. So we'll give you a quick look in here as well, guys. And as you can see, spick and span again in here. Everything all cleaned out. New shavings all down. And you can see the pigeons are looking $1 million. A milky bar cock there we have. Little Trigonino there with bronze bars. Came out of a white bar cock, so again, it's frill stencil, guys. And then we've got a milky check, which came off the milky bar as a late bred, and I decided I'm keeping it. It turned out really nice. And what's more, I'll let you here with the cocks, I think it may be a hen as well, guys. So absolutely delighted. That's every single shed bottomed out now, guys, ready for winter. I'm just going to go and give you a quick look over in the garden area while the lads are having a cup of coffee. So what we're thinking about doing as well this winter is building a fence. We're coming out from that fence there till about here, which in reality, if I turn around this way, will give us 4 or 5, 6 feet even. Maybe we can probably even come out to 8 feet here, guys. Yeah, well, maybe we'll. Maybe come off the end of the shed and come out here, which will give us 10 feet or something like that. And we'll put a fence in here, a substantial fence with really strong posts. And then what Tony will be able to do, and then we'll put some plastic down here as well, guys. And then what we'll be able to do is to get Tony to come with the tractor when we get some cow manure, and he can put, as you see in the amount we got out of one bucket, it holds about 2 or 3 ton, I think it is, on each bucket. He's going to come and put 4 or 5 bucketfuls into this area for me, and we can basically just leave it there to rot down over the years and just use that without buying any further compost over the years for dressing down the beds, guys. So I just want to give you a quick look in here now. This looks like $1 million now, guys. We salvaged some of the little primroses while Andrew was cleaning out bed where the cauliflowers were. Well, there was a few primroses in there, and I was going to bin them in originally, and I said, you know what, I've got some small pots, we can pot them in pots. I do like primroses. Anybody who's watched the earlier video will know I do. They are my favourite flower, is the primrose, and I'm still in the process. We've got another 2 or 3 there to pot on with the stones in the bottom. Same process, then compost and finish off. You can see we've made a massive dent in this cow manure. This was down till about here across, and it was a great big mound, and of course it's sweated down since summer, guys. And we've put, just to give you an idea of just how much feed we've put on these beds, and as you can see now, guys, this looks something picturesque. All the we've got all the cardboard, manure, and then this really good quality compost. I'll give you a look at that in a second. It's superb quality compost. It was expensive. It was £10 a bag. Well, it was £8.99 a bag, but I got a bit of discount, and in total we got 19 bags, just short of 2 ton. But as you can see, we've got all this dressed down now, guys, and it looks $1 million. Even the big potato bed, and this here is a foot deep, maybe a little bit more. But we've got all that done as well, and then we've put the boards on and we've just firmed everything down ready. We're going to get the plastic on here before we go. Likewise, we've got this bed all firmed down. We get the plastic on there, and then when I'm ready to put onions in there and garlic, we will. I have a funny feeling I'm going to fill this with onions and garlic. I'm going to fill this with onions and garlic, certainly in the first phase, and this with onions and garlic as well, guys, and plus what we've got in the polytunnel. We really do eat a lot of that, and it stores well as well, so we can get plenty for next year. That'll be the first harvests out, and then we've still got the beds to grow in again. And as I said, I am going to grow potatoes. Last year, as I say, with only this bed and that bed and the big bed at the back, we ended up 4 months supply of potatoes to feed me and Louise, and Connor was at home at the time as well. So there was 3 of us, and his girlfriend came occasionally at that time. So yeah, this year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all 7 beds are getting planted with early potatoes in the first instance, guys, and I'll worry about other vegetables later in the year. So I think you'll agree, guys, this looks $1 million. We've got plenty of surplus plastic left from the cow manure that was covered over. We've also got a couple of rolls of from last year when we rolled it all up there, and we're going to cut it somewhere near the size of the beds now, guys, so we've got the size that we need every year we want to cover over, and then we're just going to plonk bricks on top, hold it down, and we've still got all this plastic here to still reuse as well, and we'll start tidying this area up. Just noticed there's a little robin sitting on the fence. I don't know if I can catch it, and every day I come up to feed the hens and water them, that little robin is in the shed. It's in the chicken hut. It just flies in through the little rise and fall door, and when it goes in there and it gets itself a feed out of the feed trough, and it perches itself up for the night, and it's keeping itself out of the worst of the weather, guys. And as you can see, it's now down ratching for worms, because there's a mountain of worms there from when we were where the cow manure was, guys. Anyways, that's it for now, guys. We'll see you later. Bye. Just wanted to show you these outside, guys. I'm going in there to give them the second feed now, and I'll give you a little look at the youngsters before the dark comes. As you can see, guys, this black here is starting with the bronzing bars in the wings, and it's identified itself carrying toy stroke frill stencil. The other youngster, I don't think is showing any marks just yet. No, it's still showing as a black for now. That doesn't mean that it won't be. What's even better now, guys, our blue is also getting white in the tail, the toy stencil, and this, I believe, is the first ever I've ever seen Andalusian toy stencil. I've never seen an Andalusian toy stencil. That's not to say there isn't any, but it's certainly the first I've ever seen, and this is what I was trying to achieve, guys. But the blue has came out really nice now, as you can see, and it also has the toy in the tail, which wasn't identifiable on the last video. I am absolutely delighted to get two like that out of one pair. I'm only really disappointed the first round died, guys, but these have survived. So we've got two stencils there, we've got one in the other side of the first round, we have at least another one here, and this one could develop. So that's 4 stencils out of 2 nests, guys. I'm really delighted. I'll just give you a look at the other two. They're absolutely falling to bits in the molt now. As you can see, they've hardly any feathers around the neck. They're already molting because of the short daylight hours. You can see they're starting to fall to bits. They just look like real scruffs at the moment, because all the feathers, they're trying to play catch up with the winter months, and they'll get through most of the molt before next year. See you shortly, guys. Afternoon, guys. Final roundup. So what a day today. It's been fantastic. I haven't had a day like this for quite some time, but I'm absolutely delighted. We're getting close to Christmas now, as everybody knows, and although I possibly could have got it done with another couple of weekends, we've now achieved everything that I needed to do anyways today. So every single pigeon loft now has been bottomed out, all the grills have been done, all the perches cleaned down, everything. The only thing, the only thing that's left to do is when those youngsters come off the nest, is to clean those nest boxes out, and we're done. And that's pretty much it. That'll take me a 10-minute job, and that'll be done next weekend. All the beds, as you've seen, are now all finished, weeded, cardboarded, cow manured, and this good, really good quality compost put on top, guys. Several inches thick. We've brought the beds right up to the top. All firmed down, plastic coated, and we're good to go for winter now, guys. In theory, come growing season, all I need to do is go over there. The rain will have washed the plastic off as well, by the way. Is go over there, roll the plastic up neat and tidy, store it away in the garage for next year, and start planting the potatoes. So I'm absolutely delighted. I can rest over Christmas now and not worry too much. Obviously we've still got the birds to feed and water and come up and do, but that's a minimal chore. It's because they've all been bottomed out. I won't need to worry about cleaning out and everything over the winter period, over the Christmas period and everything. So it'll be January, middle of January, end of January before we need to start thinking about doing the pigeons again. If we get another couple of fine days like we did yesterday and today has been absolutely Baltic, it really has. It was about -5 last night. There was frost everywhere. It took me ages to clear the windscreen on the car, and I really was fretting for that lemon tree and the orange tree and the peach trees. However, I needn't have. The first thing I done when I got up here after feeding and watering the pigeons is I went over into the garden with Andrew, as you know, I said earlier. And I went straight into that greenhouse to check on the lemon tree and the orange tree. And in spite of the hard frost we had last night, it was still 2 degrees above. And I'd even reset it yesterday to see if it wasn't just holding a previous stored temperature. And that brought it back up to 6 or 7 degrees that it was yesterday. So they were both sitting at 6 or 7 degrees. And it got down to 2 above inside that little greenhouse inside the greenhouse. So it's actually kept it 2 degrees above when it was actually 4 or 5 degrees outside below. And they're absolutely delighted. That was money well spent and a good job, guys. So overall, I'm absolutely delighted. Tony came up. Andrew landed up, and I didn't even know he was coming. He just turned up. What a fantastic blessing in disguise that was. Many thanks, Andrew. I really do appreciate your hard work. It's so nice when this happens. It really does lift your spirits. And many thanks, of course, to Tony as well. Tony, over the years, there's a lot of things up here I couldn't have done that you won't have even seen on video before I even started Alan's allotment. The amount of work that Tony and time that Tony has dedicated to helping me out, I've lost count. More often than not, he gets a bit of cash for helping me out, and they did today. However, the number of times he's gave up his time and I didn't have the money to give him, and he still came up and dedicated the time. Really do appreciate it. There's a lot I couldn't do without them two lads, especially as my health is the way it is. I don't want to keep bleating on about this, but I try to remain positive and optimistic as I can. I need to go for a heart scan next Saturday as well, so there may not be any videos at all next Saturday. I still haven't got the results back from the heart trace monitor that was fitted a couple of weeks ago. I'll probably get that when I go for the heart scan next Saturday. Fingers crossed, guys, everything comes back all right, and it was a mystery as to why it happened, what happened, and hopefully it won't happen again. But that aside, I do still have the emphysema. I do still have a constant backache that's there. It never ever goes away. Some days it's worse than others. I don't really want to dwell on that. It's just for any new subscribers that may or may not be aware of the reasons why I only do a little bit as I can and when I can. The good news is all that's done. If we get any fine weekends now, the point I'm running up to is if we get any fine weekends from here on, now that all those big jobs out of the way, I can concentrate on starting to put the green mesh around the fencing area and start looking to seal that off, and even possibly building the strawberry beds. So there will still be little bits of content and perhaps some pigeon footage coming up as well over the Christmas period. Just what I'll be able to provide, I don't know. Something I didn't show you, but I'll give you an update on, is that the garlic are now sprouted up lovely in the polytunnel. 1 or 2 of the onions have started to sprout now. Not them all, but most. I would say a good half of the garlic are up and really getting going. Some of them maybe not. If we get any that start to show signs of just struggling or not really trying, we'll pull them out and we'll replace them with new. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to waste time with them. We've probably got enough cow manure left now in that little heap that I showed you earlier. There's probably just enough in there to dress that other bed down in the polytunnel before we start growing in there next year as well. So it's all just worked out fine, guys. It really has. And if we can get 10 or 15 tonne more of the cow manure, as I said, dressed in that area, just topped in that area where I'm proposing. One, it's away out of the garden, out of my way. Yes, I've got to still go in and out of the gate, and that's going to be a nuisance. But it can be left there for years on end to just rot down, guys. And because the beds have been done properly now, they'll only ever need a light dressing over the top each winter and covered over again, guys. So that's the intentions. We'll see how it pans out. But yeah, apparently you can get plenty more cow manure if I need it. So that's really good. And the money that's saved, it still cost me about 150 quid in compost on top of the cow manure. So imagine how much it would have cost if we just filled that with compost, guys. So massive saving with the cow manure. And the thing is, it'll all just continue to sweat out and break down under there now, and by next growing season it will be perfect. So that's my intentions, to get another 10 or 15 ton of it and just leave it there to rot down over the years and use it as and when I need it and as required. So that would be a good thing in itself. Most of the hard work is now done over in the garden, as you know. We just need to find a way of stopping rabbits getting in and out of there. I've come up with the idea of leaving the chain, some of the chain linking exposed, so the sparrows, blackbirds, thrushes, robins can all get in. So that if I do grow any brassicas over there next year, we can let them come in and take the caterpillars from, and let them do the job they're designed to do, guys, once the plants are up to a certain size and they're planted out. And yes, we might get a bit of leaf pecking, but the smaller birds don't do half the damage. Although I did show you last year on a video a blackbird doing a bit of digging. I can live with that, guys. They will help to I'm not going to net over the beds, or that's my intention. I'm going to net all round instead. And yes, insects will still be able to get through the top mesh. But I'm hoping that the blackbirds and Mother Nature will take care of that in the normal way with the birds. We'll see how that goes. What I say today and what we do next year is another kettle of fish. Anyways, guys, thanks for your patience for watching. Hope you enjoyed the little update with the frill stencils. Hope you've enjoyed the video per se all day, and yesterday's content. And we'll try to keep it coming as long as I'm able, fit and healthy enough to do so. We'll do that. For now, guys, stay safe, be practical and keep yourselves out of harm's way. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please think about hitting the subscribe button, then the little bell icon on the right. That really would be appreciated. For now, guys, that's it. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.